Hello and welcome to another episode of Pointless Point of View. My name is Callum Taylor and as always I'm joined by the handsome one, Fraser Doig.
What's happening?
It's happening. So, 14 days since our last video.
Yes, there's been a little bit of a break because someone wasn't feeling well, so, he didn't man up, but...
Hey, greatest TV show in the world ended. I felt sad. Right, okay, let's just...
And you were ill.
I was ill as well, but it's really done in this. But anyway, let's move on.
But as we talked about in the last episode, the last film you chose was Dredd.
Yeah.
So we've got Dredd to talk about, and we've got a bunch of news that came out in the 2 weeks gap, which was quite a decent amount that we can go through. Yeah. And then the usual what we've done lately. So we're going to start with the news.
Yeah, we will. Hit it off with before we get into trailers, we're hitting off a bit of news. It has been confirmed that a Mortal Kombat movie, shot in Australia by the way, is coming out in 2020. It is directed by none other than James Wan, the man who did Aquaman and some of the Fate and the Furious, or Fast and the Furious, or Space and the Furious.
No, I think that's different. I think...
no, I'm sure James Wan did a Fast and the Furious film.
I think it might be. I think he did 3 and I think he did 5. One of them anyway. Yeah. And I think and obviously he's connected to the Saw franchise and stuff.
Oh yeah, that was it.
That's why the guy who he made Saw with is the pilot in Aquaman. You know, with the fact that they go to the desert.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, he's the other guy that he directed Saw with.
Didn't know. Anyway, that's great
But
news.
I am super excited for this because I am a massive Mortal Kombat fan, as we've talked about where I've been playing the new game. This was after they announced this game, and it kind of made Mortal Kombat kick back into pop culture-iness, where folk that talked about it more and more. I saw this kind of come in and I'm happy about it. I mean, will it be any good? I don't know. Most video game movies suck, but I'm gonna watch. I like the first one,
yeah,
for the pure cheesiness factor of it.
I feel I'm looking forward to it. But I'm looking forward more to picking out who the cast is.
Well, this is the question I was going to ask just for a little bit, because I mean, there's no point in going through a lot of it.
Yeah.
But if you had to just pick, let's go for some mainstays. Let's go Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Raiden, Sonya Blade, Johnny Cage.
I know who Johnny Cage my choice is already. For the get-go, I know who my ideal actor for it is.
Okay. Well, I'll let you go and I'll see if you had the same thing as me.
Chris Pratt.
Yeah, it is yeah, Chris Pratt, yeah.
I had...
Ryan Reynolds would be a good choice.
Yeah, definitely.
But Chris Pratt.
I feel like he could pull it off better than Ryan Reynolds, to be honest with you. Because he's got that kind of... It's not quirky, but more of a cheesy, happy-go-lucky type characters, whereas Ryan Reynolds is more of a nuts and punching.
I have another choice to fling in here, just quickly, because I know that we can't do this for ages. John Cena.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Because the comedy, he's kicking into that comedy, and I feel like
he could be the guy that's like, I'm a superstar.
As much as, like, obviously the difference with Johnny Cage isn't absolutely built like John Cena, but I feel like the absolute jokes and being an idiot he could absolutely nail, just like Chris Pratt could nail. Right, so Sonya Blade. Please don't say Ronda Rousey.
Fuck. Catherine Winnick.
Who is that?
I knew I was going to throw it. She plays Lagertha on the Vikings TV show.
Okay.
And she's actually a judo black belt.
Interesting.
Yeah,
do you want to hear my choice?
Yeah.
Charlize Theron.
Yeah. If they're going for a...
I feel like we're going to go a bit... If we're going to get Chris Pratt as Johnny Cage, who's older, then we kind of need to go for older as well. So Charlize Theron. I feel
that we're saying Charlize Theron is old.
No, I think that when it comes to action and females, for me, it's Scarlett Johansson and Charlize Theron are probably the top pinnacles for me when it comes to it. Okay, now Raiden, because now Raiden at the very start of the games was like of Asian descent, and then the more he's moved on, he's become
white.
Yeah, sort of. It's like So who would you have? Would you have because you kind of need to go for someone older, but is also a badass at the same time.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe the guy. If they want to go back to the natural, like the first beginning, the Asian character.
Yeah.
They could go for I don't know his name, but it's the main actor from IP Man.
Yes. He played the Force-sensitive guy in Rogue One.
Yeah, him.
That's pretty good, to be honest, because I was racking my brain and I cannot think of very much. That is a good choice.
Also, I don't know, it's not one of the ones you said, but I'd like Keanu Reeves to play the character with the blindfold. Kenshi. I would love him to play that.
Because he looks like Kenshi,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
fair. Okay, so that's a good choice for Raiden. I honestly can't think off the top of my head someone for Raiden, so I'm happy to stick with that. Right, so we have to go for Asian design here. Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
In the younger days, I'd like Jackie Chan and Jet Li.
That's a good choice. That's a good
if they're
choice.
going for it older, then they could go for it. But I don't know if you've ever seen this character before. Actually, no, shit, I don't know who he is. There's a guy who's been put around as who should be Neymar. He's in this Chicago Med TV show. I can't remember his name. Oh, fuck, but he'd be great for it. I can't remember his name. Sorry, this is going for me.
Right, for me, Sub-Zero, the lead actor from The Raid.
Oh, aye.
He basically is known for his stunt, his stunt work. He was in. He helped with obviously the stunt work for the Star Wars. So he's in that fight scene with.
I'm gonna murder this. Iko Uwase.
He is the stunt work he does is tremendous. So I'd have him as Sub-Zero. I don't know who I'd have as Scorpion. But it has to be someone with the same martial arts aspect.
Did you watch Punisher? Did you watch Iron Fist?
No.
Do you remember Deadpool 2? The guy with the white suit, long hair, goes into the helicopter.
Yes.
Him.
Oh, he plays
Star
the one that goes into the helicopter blades.
Yeah, Star Dust or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Him. I would like him to see it, so it gives it that older, younger feeling.
How do you feel about the actor who we've talked about? He's actually appeared quite a lot in this podcast. The guy who's the Panther guy from Hellboy in Hawaii 5-0.
Oh yeah, Mr. Can he pick an accent?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a good actor.
Yeah.
I feel like obviously when it comes to the martial arts training, it might be quite hard. But
I think he might. I bet does he not do quite well in Hellboy? It has quite
like the action sequences.
His name is Daniel Day Kim.
Yeah, I think he'll be very good. And before we move on, I have to say one more thing. Terry Crews is Jax.
Yeah. If they went any other way, I'd be quite annoyed.
Terry Crews is Jax.
Johnny Cage, right? A less handsome version.
Mm-hmm.
But what about what's his name? Don't know. I forgot. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. The main guy.
Andy Samberg.
Andy Samberg. Could you imagine that?
I mean, he's not as Bill.
No, but he's funny.
If we're going to keep doing that, what about Hugh Jackman as Kano? It would be...
Hugh Jackman is... If anybody could get them in, it'd be him. He'd be the guy they want.
It'd be too much like Wolverine with the claws and just more Australian and an absolute dick.
I would take it.
Right, so that has been Mortal Kombat. I mean, I had to do that because that's the best part of this is like who does what, because that for casting of that is gonna. I'm all over that. So basically, we're off for 2 weeks. A lot of trailers came out.
Yes.
Some we're going to talk about, some we're not, because the main ones we're going to talk about. So first is the trailer for It 2.
Oh, you skipped it. You skipped one. We started with Black Mirror.
Sorry, don't know why I did that to myself. So which is annoying because it's me that's super excited for that. The Black Mirror season 5 trailer came out. Which I cannot wait for.
I know I've not watched any of them, right? But I watched the trailer for the Miley Cyrus part and the Anthony Mackie one.
Yes.
Both look entertaining, so I might go back and watch them.
I firmly believe that Black Mirror is something you should start, and
it's because of how it started.
So, see, it's not for everybody. I mean, each episode is an anthology, so if you really don't like the look of one episode, just move on and watch another. It really doesn't matter. They don't connect.
It just seems weird for me to do that.
I know it's weird, and it's something that even inside all of us can't do. But if you really don't like the look of it, or even watch a bit of it, just skip it.
Yeah. I'm actually looking forward to that because I saw the Miley Cyrus thing, like I said, and it looked quite fun.
The only thing I'm a bit gutted about is there's only going to be 3 episodes.
What? How can it be only 3? How many is it usually?
It says, 6? Yeah, but it says 3 stories, so 3 episodes. Unless each episode has 2 parts.
Maybe.
But most of the time it's 6 individual stories.
Oh,
They've never done 2 parts. There's never been a 2-parter.
Why do you think they go for such small? Is it
I think
it's went down.
No, I think it's because they spent a lot of time filming Bandersnatch, the movie.
What movie?
The Bandersnatch, the interactive movie.
Oh, the one that's yeah. Is that no? Maybe really good though.
It's okay. It's got its faults, but it's sort of like Telltale, you know, where the decisions, like, it really doesn't matter what you do, it's always going to go at a certain point anyway. It's kind of like that, but it's still a fantastic concept.
It's a return to the old ways, because when it was going on to Channel 4, it was launched with a 3-episode thing, so they're just going back to how they did it before.
I mean, I'm happy with that, because then obviously Charlie Brooker, the guy who came up with Black Mirror, only doing if he's only doing 3 episodes, then he's you've clearly like thought about these episodes. Like, obviously a lot of them are still like he's thought about them, but this is like, okay, I'm coming back with season 5 with only 3 episodes. All these episodes have to be good. There can't be like an okay episode, because I'd say in every season there's at least an okay episode. But if you're going to do 3, you got to nail all 3.
Yeah.
So I am super excited for this, and look at the big names they're getting. I mean, Anthony Mackie, Miley Cyrus, Topher Grace, the guy who played Moriarty in Sherlock is on it, and episodes about him. So I can't wait for it, and it comes out in June, and I will be watching it the day it comes out.
You know how I am with 8 episodes of a TV show, so let's see what happens with 3. Anyway.
So now can we move on to It 2, because I was...
2. It's the Losers Club meet up again, or whatever they're called.
Well, you still haven't seen It 1.
I will.
I mean, eventually we'll get to a trailer where you have seen things before or something roundabout. So I'm excited for this. Are you excited for this?
Yeah, the trailer for this one made me excited, but I think it's mainly because they're adults. I've got a real thing about seeing children get hurt in movies.
But I mean, this is the thing though. It's like the kids one is it's not good. I feel like the adults one might not be as good as the kids one
because it's adults.
No, because
they've not stuck to the every 20 years. They've kind of went, oh.
I think it's more because I don't know. I think it's easier to buy that children are scared.
I'm sorry. I just had this idea in my head that you were going to say it's easier to kill children.
No.
I know it's dark, but like that's what
I mean.
The
only reason that Pennywise goes after the Losers Club is because they got rid of him.
Did it?
Like, he eats kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he doesn't go after adults. It's the only reason he goes after them is because he beat them before, and he's like, well, no, I'm not. This is not happening again. Yeah. So he wants to get rid of them. But I think it's obvious, it's easier to buy when kids are more scared. So the horror has to be really good or more psychological for it to feel like it's affecting the adults.
And it comes to, I feel like it's really going to weigh heavy on the actors on this one more than what it did with the kids, because most of that was about fear and stuff like that. But with this, it's because, like you say, it's more of it trying to get retribution and revenge. So the actors are going to have to really show that, oh my god, we were scared at a younger age.
Well, this is the thing about it, is that if you leave Derry, you forget that it exists.
Oh, right.
That's why, like, the rest of the world doesn't really wonder why this town has loads of missing children. It's like, if you live in Derry and you're an adult, you just choose to ignore it. But if you leave, you kind of forget. It's when they all come back, and the guy from the Old Spice adverts who's playing Ben... he remembers everything because he never left.
Yeah.
So he sort of remembers them about everything, and then Pennywise comes back, and then stuff kicks off.
Why the fuck would you stay there?
I mean, I can't remember why he stays there. I think he just does.
Do you get in the first do you get like a flash of them as adults?
No. There's no well,
connection.
obviously the book and the TV novel jumps in between.
Yeah.
But the first movie is all kids, and the second one will be all adults.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm really looking forward to it. I think that they've pulled in some big names, and the trailer that they show where the lassie goes to visit the old lady, like that's straight out of the book. Like when you the other things that happen and like running the stuff where they cut her running out, like all of it is in the book.
Oh, nice.
So it's like I feel like they might be very book accurate. Not all of it because the book's fucking mental.
Supposedly there's a scene from the first film that was cut that's going to be in this film. So I don't know how that's going. It might be a flashback, but it's
Interesting.
I don't know what it is, but supposedly it was too much for that film to be put in this one, which intrigues me a bit because I
really hope it's not the scene that I think it is.
We'll see, Jake.
The really bad one that I don't really want to get into, but the really bad one.
You know it's bad when you didn't want to say it.
Yeah, it's really bad. But I'm still looking forward to it because I mean, Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise is really good, like really good.
I've seen a photo. It was that Jessica Chastain, who's the redhead girl.
Yes.
I saw a picture of like him and the old lady, and like the old lady's got strings, and it's like Bill Skarsgård's at the side with his smile, pulling at him, and it looks really creepy as fuck.
The only bit for the trailer that confuses me is you see the bit with the guys in the tunnel like pulling his face, and it looks like it's changing into Pennywise's face.
Yeah.
That confuses me because is it one of the kids? Is it not one of the kids? Is he having a hallucination?
Well, from this picture, the guy pulling his face off looks like the same guy, so it looks like Pennywise.
Oh, so maybe he's pretending to be a human and then he
turns
right, because he's an absolute arsehole. the only other thing I've got to say before we move on is like, so in the TV movie and in the book, like, so see he's like a set of lights, but in the TV movie, the last thing he turns into is a big spider.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're going to do that. Is that way his like final form that they see is a big spider, because you can't really comprehend what it really looks like. Yeah. So you see a big spider. So I don't know if they're going to do it.
Because each person's fear, isn't it? That he turns into.
No, you can use a fear against them, but it's more like if you need to watch the first one.
Yeah, okay.
You need to watch the first one for me, because I'll just be sitting explaining it for ages. Yeah. But anyway, so what the other trailer that we got, because I'll let you talk about it because I'll end up saying the wrong one.
This one I know it's dear to your heart more than me, but I'm looking forward to it as well. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood from Quentin Tarantino.
Quentin Tarantino's 9th movie.
Is it 9th and Beast Final? They said they'd only do 9 and that's it.
Is that? I've never heard that. I really hope not.
He always used to say is I'm doing 9 films and that's me.
I really hope not.
Yeah.
I really hope not.
Set in obviously 1969 Los Angeles.
So it's, to me, it feels like it's loosely based on real events and not on real events.
Yeah, because I was led to believe that it's going to be a Charles Manson film, but it seems like it's really following Rick Dalton's Leonardo DiCaprio's character,
who looks like he's playing a actor who was quite big and is now not doing that well and is struggling, but who lives next door to Catherine Tate, played by Margot Robbie, who is that's the person who was murdered by the Manson family. Yeah. So that is based on true events, but the Rick Dalton stuff with the stunt double played by Brad Pitt is not true, as far as I can.
So there was no Cliff Booth.
Yes, I think that Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt's character are completely fictional.
Yeah.
But Catherine Tate is a real person, and obviously Charles Manson was a real person.
No, Sharon Tate.
So I feel like it's.
It
might be Sharon Tate. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Right.
So I think it's a bit like Inglourious Bastards, where some of the things in Inglourious Bastards completely inaccurate.
Yeah.
But I mean, you've got Hitler in the movie who really existed, but then things. The only thing is he's got to be careful with that, because when Hitler got absolutely destroyed in that movie, nobody had sympathy for Hitler. No, not at all. But this is like a real tragedy that happened. So if he's going to mess about with what really happened, I feel like he's got to be careful with it.
Yeah, I'll be fair. I don't think he's going to lay too much into the Charles Manson stuff.
I do, because you see in the new trailer, you see Brad Pitt's character meet the Manson girls.
Yeah. But it's like, it's a case of,
So-
Manson he'll change your life. So is it going to be like a split of, it's fucking Rick Dalton and Cliff Booth, and then it's, hey, this is...
Well, I think the movie is about how, like, basically, how Hollywood and at that time was all happy-go-lucky and everything that's going through, but then underneath you've got Leonardo DiCaprio's character going through all his shit, and then basically the way it ended, I feel like the way it's going to, basically the pinnacle of this movie, the peak, is going to be the murder.
Yeah. See, just look at the supporting cast. That they've got like Steve McQueen, who's been played by Damian Lewis, and stuff like that. There's like Tim Roth and Kurt Russell. They didn't hear.
You've got you've got the Quentin Tarantino classics. Like he's pulled in the folk that he normally uses. Surprisingly, not seen Samuel L. Jackson though.
Yeah,
he will be in it. I firmly believe he will be in it.
Yeah,
it's Samuel. He will. The two of them work together all the time. Even if I firmly believe he will be in it, I'm really excited for it because again,
it's a Quentin Tarantino film.
It's a Quentin Tarantino film. It's got like Leo. It's got Brad. It's got like these massive names where you know they're going to knock it out of the park. But I also kind of want to see what he does with because Quentin Tarantino never works in real life. Like even with like we were saying in Inglourious Bastards, even that is like not true. What happens is like it's not true at all.
Yeah.
Obviously, the only thing that's probably true in Inglourious Bastards is like how much dicks the Nazis were and how it's set in that time period. But everything else is completely not true.
Like before this comes out, I see me listening to the last podcast on Left's Charles Manson's story. I see me try to catch up on it because I want to know,
find out what actually happened.
Yeah, because obviously we can dictate, we can look at it and go, oh, that's not true, that didn't really happen.
Well, I listened to it. That's why I was like,
yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and it's just, I feel like it's one of those things with Quentin Tarantino. Don't get me wrong, sometimes the stories are a bit out there, but that's his thing.
Yes, that's his thing.
So I'm looking forward to it, and it's nice to see.
I mean, if you look at the 9 films in his bracket, like not the ones where he goes out to the side or he like helps produce. Like if you look at those straight 9 films, there really isn't a bad movie in there. Like some are better than others, but they're not. It's not a bad movie at all.
Yeah, and you've got. No wait, no, that's not it.
So you got like Hateful Eight, Inglourious Bastards. You got obviously classic Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown, Reservoir Dogs,
Django, Pulp Fiction,
Kill Bill 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm probably missing one there.
It says Grindhouse, but I don't know if that's actually.
I'm not sure, but look, if you look at all of them, I'd probably say his weakest is like maybe the Kill Bill franchise.
Yeah,
probably the weakest.
A lot of people probably that's not fucking true.
Well, out of all of them, for me personally, I'd say is his weakest. For me,
From Dusk Till Dawn, I forget about that.
That was actually Robert Rodriguez. He produced.
Oh, so it's one of those. Okay.
Yeah, he helped produce that. Anyway, so that is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's, as I say, we both are excited for it, and talking about it is definitely like.
Yeah, it's a July release, which was weird because the internet said September, trailer said July, but we'll take the trailer over.
Just when it comes out. Aye.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to it, and I'm sure we'll have a nice wee episode with that. You know what I mean? And moving on to our third trailer news.
The latest trailer, yeah?
Yeah, latest trailer. This was yesterday. Terminator Dark Fate, which is set to be released in November the 1st.
Directed by Tim Miller, the guy who did Deadpool 1.
Which I was actually surprised to see. But
so we have
the originals back.
We have originals back. Obviously, no John Connor this time.
No.
How did you feel about this trailer? Since obviously the last Terminator we got, they've kind of basically retconned the whole thing.
What I liked about this trailer, right, is the fact that it didn't do what every other Terminator trailer kind of do. It kind of filled the screen with Terminators. Like, of late, the movies of late, where it's like...
Especially Genesis, that trailer was
like 1,000
so
robots.
bad.
Whereas
so
the
bad.
originals kind of had one, and then one coming after. And that's really what it felt like. It felt like a classic type of Terminator film. And it kind of sets up a good fight between the Terminator, played by Gabrielle Luna.
So it looks like the good Terminator.
No, that's the bad Terminator. The one that melts and disfigures himself.
Oh right, that's the guy. Right?
His actor's name is Gabriel Luna, but it just says Terminator.
So yeah, it looks like he's going to be like another liquid Terminator.
Yeah, and then we've got Mackenzie Davis, who plays, her name's Grace, which is
that the good Terminator?
Good Terminator, yeah. Which I'm quite happy for. It's a nice change on it for the lassie always been human, the guy always been a Terminator. It's a nice little change up. And the trailer,
you've obviously got what's her name returning as well for
Linda
Sarah Connor.
Hamilton.
With Sarah Connor, like I'm happy she's back. She was like Terminator 2 is the best Terminator.
Yeah.
Couple things.
There is a John Connor.
See, now that's annoying because that's the one thing I was literally about to say is I'm happy that we're not going to see a John Connor.
But it's a child John Connor.
See, I see with the way the trailer is because obviously they're protecting the little girl.
It shows a character called Danny Ramos, played by Natalia Reyes, as the main must save this person.
So I was actually happy that it wasn't John Connor for once.
So, is it that, right, since it's supposedly been changed with Genesis or whatever it was, that John Connor isn't the saviour because Sarah Connor isn't living a certain way? They've been changed, so John Connor maybe he's just a little boy. He's just a guy whose mum's out there fighting Terminators, and Grace comes back and is like, no, it's this person. And Sarah Connor's like, wait, it's meant to be John. You know what I mean? Like it could be one of those moments where
I kind of don't want the saviour angle again. They've kind of done it enough. I feel like maybe.
But what can they do?
I don't know. What if maybe the little girl is
a genius?
Not the way to like stop it, or what if she's like the founder of the company?
Yeah, or she works for the company and she makes Grace. That's literally the only reason Grace wants to keep her alive, because she makes her.
The only other thought I've got about this is I think Arnold Schwarzenegger is not a Terminator. I think he's human.
He's just an old dude.
I think he's the actual, like the person they based the Terminator off. I think he is not a Terminator.
Oh my God, does that mean he'll die?
I don't know, but I really think he is not a Terminator. Yeah. It's the way he looks and the way the facial. I just don't think he's a Terminator.
I would like that. It'd be a nice twist on a series that's literally been like, hey, you're Arnold.
You're the Terminator.
Yeah, you're the Terminator guy.
I would like him not to. I think he's not I think he's not a Terminator.
That'd be good. They've intrigued me a little where they go with the Grace and she's like, what are you talking about? I am human. But we've seen in the trailer that she's had her bits open, like cut open, and you see bits of metal.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? So I want to see how that goes.
That could be like a little bit like, reminds me of another bad Terminator, the Sam Worthington one, where he thinks he was human until he finds out he's Terminator.
Yeah. Wait, is this going to be like Dark Phoenix with just use other stuff?
No, because again, they brought back like Linda Hamilton, and she looks like a badass like she was in 2. And she's definitely got old, but I feel like she can still kick ass.
I bet they went to her, do you want us to de-age you? Or anything like that. I feel like she's the type of character.
They were definitely aiming for the old Sarah Connor, but
yeah,
she looks like she still kicks ass. Hopefully there's not a lot of, when she's doing stunts, that it's kind of cut away, because obviously she's a lot older, but again, Linda, she probably just
What did you think of the new bad Terminator's look?
The liquid,
black liquid. But the thing is, you saw him when he's coming back, his face looks like a normal metal Terminator, but then it's like a skin goes over it.
See, I think it's
Do you feel like it's a mashup between the Genesis and the other liquid guy?
Well, the liquid guy could turn into anybody he wants.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's that. There's that aspect, but it's kind of like, you know what it's like? It's like the liquid Terminator, but you know how in a lot of games where you get like skins, you've got regular skin or you've got carbon skin. It just looks like a carbon version of the liquid Terminator. So it's kind of like a tiny little upgrade.
Yeah.
So it might just be that, and it's obviously better effects now that it's like 2019 and the liquid Terminator is not just a glob of metal, it like properly comes over.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why they're obviously aiming for T2 here. That's why they're liquid Terminator, Linda Hamilton, saving a child, because John Connor was like a teenager at the time, and you've got Arnie, but I still think he's human. So they're aiming for T2, because at the end of the day, T2 is the best Terminator.
Yeah. Do you remember the Terminator TV show?
Sarah Chronicles,
Yeah. Remember how they had the lassie Terminator in it?
Yes.
Do you see that there was a thing that once this was announced, they were like, oh, we want her to come in. If they're going to be a lassie as the main lead, we want her to connect it all and everything.
Yeah.
And the director was like, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to go straight up this is my story, let's not bring anyone else in. Oh, by the way, here's Arnold Schwarzenegger's into Hamilton.
You kind of not. Yeah, it's weird. As much as Arnold Schwarzenegger's old, and he's not the same person he was to do Terminator. Well, yeah, exactly. To do Terminator without him is very strange. And I mean, it will be better than Genesis. It will be better than Salvations.
Oh, I wonder what the posters look like for this.
I mean, there hasn't really been an excellent Terminator since 2. So the last thing I got to say to you before we move on to the big topics, how do you feel about James Cameron producing? Like, he's back. Because the last one he did was 2.
Yeah, it gives me hope.
But is he going to be like, make it like 2, make it like 2, make it like 2?
Yeah, I feel like he's probably like, make as much of it as 2. And then Tim Miller's like, okay, but I'm going to do it this way, in my own style. So it kind of gives me that hope of a little bit of old added with the Tim Miller's Deadpool fun.
See, for me, like, it's like, I like James Cameron, I don't like all of these movies, but see, having him behind a project, because he barely makes anything now, it doesn't solidify it now. It's like, has he lost touch? Because, I mean, the last movie he made was Avatar, and fair enough, it's the highest grossing movie of all time, but
it was. It's been beaten.
No.
Aye.
No.
Avengers beat it.
No, Avengers beat Titanic. It's not beat Avatar.
I feel like it's
not beat Avatar.
Okay,
Trust me.
It's not beat Avatar. You finish what you were saying. Okay.
So I feel like he's not hit that point yet. Like, he's not cut.
He's not come back. So
yeah, he's not made a movie in a while. So how does he know what audiences want? Basically.
It's 100 away from.
I'm telling you, man. The reason why Avatar is still number 1 is because it was the first 3D movie and tickets cost a crap ton when 3D first came out.
And it was also, when it came out, it had a longer run than most films.
It's never going to be beat. It's never going to be beat. I'm glad that Avengers has beat Titanic, because I don't like Titanic, but it's never going to be beat. Anyway, so the last bit of news we've got to talk about, this is a big one, really. So, it's not 100% confirmed, but it looks like it's about 90%.
Yeah.
That Robert Pattinson is going to be the next Batman.
Yes, for the next...
Matt Reeves,
the Batman, come out in 2020.
Which is loosely based on Batman Year One.
Yeah, which is a really good animated book. Which
right.
A good film and book.
How do you feel about this?
Right, I'll just get it off the bat, right? Besides the fact that he's went from a vampire to a Batman, just going to leave that joke to the side, right?
Okay.
But if you take away that film, he's a good actor. He's a very good actor. He's done a lot of films. He's done a lot of indie films, and a lot of them, don't get me wrong, they're not massive budget films, but they've been good enough to the point where you can see how good an actor he actually is. And I'm looking forward to this, especially because they're trying to go for the younger, more detective type Batman than the usual running gun and punching people type actor, you know what I mean?
Yes.
You got most of all his stuff. Water for Elephants was good. The Rover was a good film by him. Remember Me was a bit cheesy, but it was still a good film. He's got that. He's a very good actor. It's just people are always going to paint him with, you were that guy who was in that film.
I agree with you. So obviously when I first heard this, like in the back of my mind, I was like, that twat for Twilight.
Shiny Batman.
But it's kind of like if you look at the since Twilight, because obviously even himself probably thought after that, like, this maybe wasn't a mistake, but it's kind of like, I'm going to be typecast as this idiot, right? So, I mean, yeah, he's been in some indie movies and been in some excellent movies, like have you seen Good Time? The one where his brother's in jail and he's trying to get him out.
Yeah, I've seen something like that.
That's fantastic. Like he has absolutely nailed the performances.
Yeah, I saw The Rover where he's in with
Guy Pearce.
Very good film.
I think he is a fantastic actor. So because of the things he has done after the Twilight, I feel like he could nail this.
Yeah, and look at it this way, right? People look at him, he's a wee skinny guy who's playing, right? Christian Bale, skinny guy. Ben Affleck,
they built themselves up, obviously.
They got the certainly shape.
Well, Ben Affleck got fat.
Yeah. So, like, I'm looking forward to seeing where he goes with it, because I feel like he'll be a very good Batman in the sense of being the smarter Batman, being the going out and actually being a detective type of Batman. You know what I mean? Whereas you'll have like you've obviously had your Christian Bales and your Ben Afflecks who've always been the running gun and punching. Here's 5 seconds of me being a detective. It'd be nice to see it the other way around for once.
I think for me, he can nail a lot of it. I don't know how he'll fare in the action, because at the end of the day, you're going to have to see it at some point.
Yeah.
He's going to have to fight at some point, and I don't know how we can be able to that. Is it going to be like you're not going to be able to tell it's not him, or is it going to be super shaky cam where you don't know what's going on?
But how's they easily work around that? Whereas they get him to bulk up a bit, right? And we've always, like I said, we've always seen the Batmans that can go in and take a punch, but he could easily be the smart. I've clearly been trained by a ninja Batman, which he can dodge and then hit, and you can see him using his brain to fight instead of just his strength. And I feel like he could pull it off.
Another thing I'm looking forward to too is, because it's based on like year one, I'm looking forward to making mistakes Batman.
Yeah. Because
a lot of the time, where even the Christian Bale one, where when he's Batman, it's like it's Batman. Even in Batman Begins, and then obviously with the Ben Affleck one, he's older, so he's been Batman for a while. Yeah. And even in the other ones, he's been this is like absolute fresh Batman. I'm looking forward to him being like maybe a bit too violent and realising he's making mistakes. I'm realising that he doesn't know when to stop, or like he's going after like a certain villain, and it's kind of like that's all he thinks about, and he's nothing else on his plate. Like that's the thing I'm really looking forward to.
Do you need to see building the cave? Do you need to see him being taught by Ra's al Ghul and all that stuff? Do you need to see that?
No, I don't think they will. I think it's going to be like you're gonna see him already be Batman, but literally it's right at the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, bang right at the beginning. Like you don't need to see the backstory. It's basically like Marvel and Spider-Man now. They don't need to do it.
Yeah.
Everybody knows it now. You just need to make him. You basically need to do storytelling, like world storytelling, where you realise yourself that he's not been Batman for a long time. You know, just have a fight sequence where he gets his ass kicked. He goes up against someone he can't handle, and he gets his ass beat. And then there's just a conversation between him and Alfred, saying like, do you think this is a good idea? Like, why are you doing this? And it just shows by just storytelling in the movie that he's just begun. You don't have to be like I get 20-minute montage of him training and all that. You don't need to do that. You just need a couple of scenes and a couple of key points for you just to know, because folk don't need it now.
No, I really hope, I like how what DC have been doing with Aquaman and stuff, where it's not really, hey, this is Superman, there's Superman, blah blah, all that stuff. I'm looking forward to this being back to a point where
a condensed story.
Yeah, like, because I know it's out there away from the DC universe, and I'm looking forward to that. And I'm looking more forward to seeing, like you said, his choices in general, like how he's going to see a character like the Riddler if he's in it. And he has to go up against his mind, but he's getting frustrated and he's losing and he gets stuck in a trap and stuff like that. That's what I'm looking forward to see him fall.
This is the only thing I've got to end before we move on to Dredd is young Batman. You've seen who they really, really want. What villain would you give him?
I don't know. I could see Penguin being a good one.
That was going to be my choice. I think I'd like to see Penguin, because you're talking lower level mob guys. You're not going to have something too massive.
Yeah.
But you're not going to have someone. It's still going to be a challenge, but it's not extreme challenge yet.
Yeah.
It's not like Joker level.
I don't want to see Killer Croc. I don't want to see Bane.
No one massive.
Yeah.
It needs to be a condensed, like you said at the beginning, like the Riddler, Penguin. Obviously, it's not going to be Black Mask, but someone like that, sort of like a mob bossy type thing.
Yeah. Even Catwoman, but not in a sense of not lover or villain, but more of a choice factor. You know what I mean?
See, I don't want Catwoman because then it's going to kick into a love story, and then all that will go through my mind is great Robert Pattinson love story Batman.
Yeah, but you can have that fucking Catwoman where he's trying to fight for the case of, is she good, is she bad, what's her thing, will I let her go, will I catch her type situation. Whereas you've got the Penguin or the Riddler, he's just like, oh, I need to catch her.
I mean the main thing is
as long as Catwoman's not Kristen Stewart.
Who is the villain in the comic book Year One? Do you know? Because I don't.
I think it might be Riddler. Maybe the first one it comes up against.
Because I know it's based on his first year. So who's the predominant villain?
Give me a second. Oh, doesn't tell you.
Catwoman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Falcone.
There we go. That's
they did it in Gotham TV show, but I feel like a movie could get really good flushed out.
So basically like we're saying, a mob boss like Penguin and Falcone. So, but I'm going to go for the Penguin. I think the Penguin's a good choice in that. It'd be nice to see, because obviously the last Penguin we got was the crazy mutant Penguin, Danny DeVito, Tim Burton.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see the mob boss Penguin, who still uses umbrellas and still is a weird. But
the good thing about the good thing about Falcone and the mob bosses, it brings in Harvey Dent, but just hints at Harvey Dent. You know what I mean? It's a little Easter egg to these are characters that he can go up against.
Too much. If they do Harvey Dent, too much. It's too much like the Dark Knight.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, with Falcone and obviously you got the Joker there, but it's kind of like that. But it's too much Dark Knight.
True. But
I feel like if you're going to do Two-Face again, it's you're going to have to do Two-Face, just Two-Face, becoming Two-Face again, because that's the hard thing about Batman, is that it's always going to be compared to another Batman because there's so many Batmans. It's like Spider-Man. When they make a Spider-Man, you can't help but compare it. Thank you, to another version of that movie because there's so many.
All I got to know is, from you, what type of suit do you want?
As long as it doesn't have nipples.
Yeah, that's very true. But the thing is, a lot of people says they want the grey, not like Adam West, but they did a newer version where it was blue with black arms and black cape with a yellow bat on his chest. Might not work in this day and age, but
I'd like it to see not a brand new suit, but it's kind of he's going to make his first one. It's not going to be perfect.
I'd like to see him go out in normal clothes sometimes. You know what I mean? Out and he's got
more of the Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Because we've never really seen that much. But again, it's weird how you got to do it with a younger Batman. About how you do Bruce Wayne.
Then just go back to Christian Bale
again, and but
yeah,
I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt because a lot of people have complained about previous casting choices, especially with Batman and other things, and they've nailed it to the park. So I will wait and see what happens.
I'm giving it hopeful curiosity.
Let's go with that. So we're moving on to
my pick of the week.
Your pick of the week.
It is Dredd.
Which is Dredd. So good choice.
Yeah.
Good choice. You made a definitely good choice here. So since it's your pick, what's the story?
Oh, it's just a man in a vast mega city. Mega City 1 doesn't take his mask off, thank God. He's stuck with a rookie. This is an old gruff boss man type evil Dredd with a little sidekick. He has to train her, take her out. They go to Peachy's tree or something.
If you ever got a job putting things on the back of DVD cases, you would be sacked within a week.
Sorry, I'll do it properly. One man's mission. Sorry. And a rookie, they're getting stuck and they're going up against, which is nice to see, they're going up against druggies and junkies and stuff like that. And they just go for, she gets to pick, they end up at, is it Peachy's tree?
It's Peach Trees.
Peach tree, 6 and 2 3s. And as always in these great films, they go in, somebody gets dropped and splattered on the ground, and
everything goes to shit.
Everything goes to shit.
Well, that was a good what the story is. Good what the story
It
is.
could have been quicker. It could be like, old guy, rookie, goes against junkies.
That was better already. Right, so, I mean, what to say about this? Is it a good movie? Do you think it's a good movie?
Yes.
I think it's a good movie.
I think it's a great movie. I think it's a great sci-fi thriller. Also, people will be like, "Hey, Sylvester Stallone, is it like that?" Please don't put them in the same
I feel like
bracket.
at this point, like, a lot of people have probably, like, maybe not a lot of people have seen this movie, but I mean, folk are bound to know that there's two Dredds, and this one is a million times better than the shitty Sylvester Stallone movie. Thank God you never picked it.
There's always more to eat.
So, Carl Urban.
Yes, Carl Urban is playing Dredd, the main protagonist, and
absolutely brilliant.
Nails
it 100%. I can't see anybody else's Dredd, even though he doesn't take his helmet off, like you said, which he shouldn't in the graphic novel.
Yeah.
He still shows an amazing performance, even though you literally see his chin. That's all you see of him. For me, right, I've got a couple of points down here.
Yeah. Hit them up.
So, I mean, the main thing you talked about, the drug. The drug is quite a big thing in the movie, slow-mo. They take it and it slows down. How do you feel about the slow-mo in it? Because do you feel like they put it in the movie because, like, just to get that slow-mo effect? Or do you feel like they did it because it actually adds to the story?
I think they planned slow-mo. Like, they were like, hey, this is the thing that they're going to go up against. This is... Because, as I said, it's 800 million people stuck in Mega City 1.
Yep.
Right? And people are going to... Like they said, they only really... As Dredd says to his rookie, we only really deal with 6% of the shit that hits the fan.
Which is like, realistic.
Yeah.
Which is great.
And it's nice to see... Because with the drug, I know it's a comment, drugs, junkies, but this is a nice, not a nice drug, but it's a nice wee input to the story, I feel. Like, they planned this before, and then somebody went, here's a slow-mo for it, and then they kind of, they overused it a bit in this film. At the beginning, it made sense with in the truck, in the van. And like one or two bits is decent, and I like it. But, yeah, I feel like it was planned. I feel like they came up with the effects afterwards, and I think it adds to the film, if you know what I mean.
I think obviously a little bit of it is kind of like, it would be a cool effect if we put this slow-mo drug in. But on the other hand, I definitely think you've got a point where, when it comes to a movie like this, it's kind of not like you don't want an end of the world situation. It's just about drugs.
Yeah,
so something simple.
They are harming a mass amount of the population.
Yeah.
So they're going against this.
It's something the police would go after.
Yeah,
because that's basically what judges are.
Yeah.
Just absolutely nails police.
Yeah, and it's a good. I feel like this film needed this. If it was just a main evil person going, I'm going to destroy this building, that building, like that, I feel like it loses something. Because
it all basically comes down to the guy that when they go into peach trees, they capture one of the lieutenants of Mama, the villain.
K.
Yeah,
the guy they capture is called K. Yeah,
who knows the important stuff about the slow-mo, which then makes her shut down everything in the building and basically says everybody go after the judges, and that's the rest of the movie.
Yeah,
but it's basically because of the slow-mo drug that's why the whole thing happens. It's not because of like you say, where someone wants to take over. Somebody, basically the judges threaten her, and she
retaliates.
Basically that's which is absolutely brilliant, because that is a condensed story where this whole movie is set in this one building, where you could have another movie in another building involving, well, it wouldn't be another judge, but when Dredd comes out and goes into another set building and something else happens, that's like a whole other movie in itself.
It felt very video game like.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
I agree with you with that.
You go into a place and it's kind of locked down. You're like, oh,
definitely.
You have to wait for it. I like that scenario from it. And I liked that feel from it, and the very indie feel for it as well.
Obviously, when I talked about the world building and stuff like that, where you talked about the world building, so where you said about like the crime and the Mega City 1, you get the voiceover, you get basically no backstory about Dredd. You get a little bit of backstory about his psychic psychic.
Yeah, Cassandra Anderson.
You get a tiny bit of backstory, but not a lot. You get a tiny little backstory about Mama, and then the rest of it is just what happens in the movie. But I still feel like the world building is good for just a little bit that it is, because it is like this down and dirty shit world.
The bit I liked for world building is when it's at night time and they're on the skate ramp, and Cassandra Anderson, played by Olivia Thirlby,
who I haven't seen in anything else after this, and I thought she was excellent in this.
She is in a lot, but she's brunette, so you wouldn't notice her. So it's because she looks different.
Makes sense.
She looks out at the world, and you literally just see the names on the towers, the mega structures, and I think that's kind of a hint and just kind of showing people there's more out there to be done. So I like that little feedback, whereas before at daytime it was kind of just like, madness and all this stuff. And I'm just going to, sorry to interrupt this, I'm going to put it out there, people are working outside where we're recording, just in case there's a little feedback or pickups, but you'll hear us better than you'll hear them, just letting you know.
I do apologise about
That's right,
it.
that can't be helped.
So the other thing is that, I mean, action in itself. How do you feel about the action in the whole movie? Because for me, it's one of the best parts of the movie. Yeah,
and because it's not fast, like it's slow, methodical.
It's definitely stylised. Yeah, 100%.
And I like that it gave you a taste for it right at the beginning, where the guys run away and they chase them into. Like the guys in the van at the beginning.
The first action sequence.
And then you see him one of the druggies holding a woman, and he literally just shoots a flare into the guy's mouth. I feel like it kind of sets a tone for this.
Well, that's one of the things I love about the action sequences. There's two things that really enjoyed the actions. One is the different ammo. It's like his versions of gadgets. But he's got, like what you said at the beginning, hot shots, and you got like the exploding rounds which he uses at one point, and then he shoots people with a flamethrower at one point, which is such a badass moment.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I really like is it kicks into like this techno music whenever the action starts. Yeah. And it's just got that feel about it, this industrial feel, like basically like what you were saying before, like a first person shooter, like a Doom. Or like, a Wolfenstein. It kicks into that stylized music whenever all the action begins, and it just makes you even more, not invested, but even more like concentrating on everything that's going on, and it sort of makes you feel good. Like the action's really good.
Yeah, it gets me really pumped, and also it does a good thing where it's like a little tone before it hits. Like there's a wee bit of music starting low, so you kind of can something's going to kind of build you up. I think it's such a good atmosphere builder.
So I mean, the other bit like I've got here is like, how do you feel about like the psychic stuff? Like, how do you feel about that? Because I know some stuff about Dredd comics, but like I can't really remember if there is psychics in the comics.
There's definitely muties and stuff like that in it. Obviously, in Sylvester Stallone, we got horrible mutants.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, but in this,
I just can't. After seeing that film, I just tried to get it out of my memory.
Yeah, but I like what they did here, because this is an actual character from the comics, like the graphic novels, and I like what it did. I like that it only showed her. We only really got 2 or 3 moments where it kind of changed how it looked. But
it's quite subtle.
Yeah.
Psychic,
and I liked it, and especially the bits where she's interacting with Kate. Don't get me wrong, it was a bit started off a bit graphic.
Yeah, it's definitely R-rated. Yeah, like it is R-rated, but at the end of the day, if you're gonna do Dredd, you're gonna do a violent, stylized graphic novel. You've got to make it R-rated.
And it's nice that we kind of got her being like, because she's awfully shy.
At the beginning,
Yeah, and then later on she's kind of getting herself pumped up.
By the end of it, she's a badass. Yeah. She's a definite
Especially
badass.
Especially when the guy, Kay is like, whoa, remember it's my mind, and he like tries to pull her down to like... put her head where her head shouldn't go. Yeah. And she kind of pops up and goes, but remember that I'm in control, and it shows you... Mama biting him where he shouldn't be biting.
Yeah, definitely. You know what I mean? Right, so I mean, since how do you feel about Mama in general?
She's played by Lena Headey.
I like the way she looks.
Yeah, and we get a good snippet of a backstory for her.
A little bit of a back. So I like her. I think the performance is good. The problem I have with her is she doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Now she's obviously the villain. Yeah. She is an arsehole. She does horrible things, but she just delegates horrible things.
Yeah.
She never physically does horrible things apart from the backstory bits.
Yeah, and that's what annoys me as well about the backstory bits, is it kind of goes, hey, she did this, she did that.
She took over this whole building.
But you don't see her acting like that.
She's-
in a moment where she could have.
Yeah, she just delegates.
Yeah, but a moment where she could have, when Anderson is brought to her, I feel like she could have been like, scar her face. Like, because it seems like
Done something.
Yeah, because it seems like a real thing for her, is her face being scarred, so it's kind of like, she could have seen this last day and went, oh, she's really pretty, cut her face.
I think maybe the only thing I can look about why she acted like that is because she worked her ass off to be in charge of this entire building. So when somebody is gonna what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it's gonna destroy what she's built.
Yeah.
She's more focused on fixing that than being a sadistic bitch.
Yeah.
But I feel like I needed to see a little bit of the sadisticness.
Because we get that bit where she goes on the Gatling guns and she just kind of blasts away at the wall, and then we're given to one of the greatest moments in this.
I love the mini bungit. So basically, for instance, there's a bit where, so this is when the Dredd realizes that the guy that they've captured knows something after Momo basically annihilates an entire floor with like 3 miniguns.
Yeah.
And just shoots the shit out of fucking loads of people. Obviously Dredd, and they manage to escape. But she sends over her second in charge, who's basically, you've seen him shoot a couple of people. It's
Yeah.
one of the people she delegates. And you see her from a distance, hear like a scuffle, and then Dredd just walks out holding like the back of his jacket, tosses him over the edge, and then just walks away.
Yeah.
Doesn't say anything. That's one of the things I love about the Dredd, is like there's only a couple of moments where he says it. Like after she captures Anderson,
Yeah.
and he makes that speech over and he says, "I am the law."
Yeah.
Beautiful. And the very end is like the only times you get a tiny bit of speech from him. The rest of the time he's just a silent badass.
Yeah. There's also, I like it. So how did you feel? I don't know if this is your next question, but how did you feel when the bad judges came along?
That actually was going to be
Was
my
it
next point. The
nice?
judge fight, excellent.
Yeah.
Absolutely excellent.
The first 1v1 was the best one.
Yes,
Yeah.
the most brutal death in the entire movie. A lot of people get a lot of stuff, but the bit where he caves in that man's Adam's apple with the end of a gun is rough. It's the worst death. He took too long to fall and die,
Yeah.
but
I feel like that was more dramatic effect than anything.
but
else.
he it make like I love that bit where she's like, "Oh, what we're gonna do?" and he's like, "Oh, we'll call the call the police."
Yeah.
Because it's like judges who kill people for hire.
I love that bit where he's like, so what does a judge go for these days? And he's like, 1,000,000 credits. And he's just like...
And then he kills one of them,
Yeah.
and it's like split. He's like split 4 ways, and then he's in all 3 ways, and he kills another way.
Keeps it, I like that he kept it going. Like, that was one of the things I was like, that's really good.
One of my favourite, see where we're talking about world building, is it's so subtle, is that when he obviously runs out the ammo, and the bad judge shoots through the wall and shoots him,
Yeah.
and he comes up and says like, any last words, and he says wait, and there's that little bit of building where he's like the infamous Judge Dredd's last words is like wait. Like it's this basically, without saying that he's like this ultimate badass who's this absolutely nails cop. It's without basically showing like his record or showing a bit of backstory of like he's captured all these people. Just that little sentence of like how much he's worth to kill, and like that little sentence of thingy, it shows that like he's a terrifying man, and he will murder anybody that gets in his way because he's the law. Which I thought was just an excellent way of just building how the backstory of him, where you get none of it really.
I like that little moment where clearly Dredd is opening up to the point where he's like at that moment he's hurt and he's literally weakened and he's literally like he's leaving his life in his hands to someone else. That's why he's like, wait, she's clearly gonna comfort me.
Yeah.
And then you just see her rip through him.
And even like, it's weird that like even when he got shot, he's still like a teacher because he whips out. He's like first aid kit. Like he's telling her this thing is like, oh, I've been shot, but it's like this is what you do when you get shot.
Do you feel like that was foreshadowing though?
About what?
About like getting shot and how to heal yourself. Because literally in like 5 minutes later she is shot. And then
sort of, but
heals herself.
it's maybe. I mean, it could have been a bit of foreshadowing, and I mean, the only really bit where he really shows any not compassion because he's compassionate, but he shows like any It's weird. It's not like it's not. I wouldn't say emotion. It's hard to describe. You know the bit where he basically like she should have failed.
Yeah.
She really should have failed,
Yeah.
but he says she passed.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like she's been through the shit with me, so she deserves to be a judge.
Yeah, and especially the bit where she's pretty much telling him, she's like, I failed, I've lost my primary gun,
Yeah.
let's just go and get this. And he's kind of looking at her, like, you can't see his eyes, so you're kind of just getting his mouth up, like,
Just the chin.
It's like his chin's wobbling a little bit, so it's kind of like a stern, okay, I'll follow
Respect.
her. Yeah.
Respect.
How did you feel, as I was talking about Mama, how did you feel about Mama's end?
It's a strange one. It's
Yeah.
different. I mean, I love the fact that she still tried to, like, she basically tried to worm her way out of it immediately, and
Yeah.
Dredd was like, "You're
This
a
is
liar."
not a negotiation.
The giving her the slow mo took too long. It took too long.
Yeah.
Like I would like a little bit. Maybe I would have maybe seen it cut just a bit. But like.
It was kind of weird when he did it too.
I don't know how do you feel about the thing on like she put it on and it clearly there wasn't a bomb, like
Well, no, there could have been. There could have been because maybe
I just remember for the first time I was like, no, because if there was a bomb you maybe would have you would have brought that up earlier in the movie
Yeah.
if it was there. You would
Yeah.
have used that as leverage.
I feel like it was a pretty quick quick way out.
I think it's mainly because I think the amount of people that Dredd kicked the shit out of going up to her, she basically stood no chance. So she tried to do something, and Dredd couldn't care less.
Yeah. Also, I didn't feel threatened by if my pulse goes, this will blow up. I felt like that was a bit of a too easy. Whereas if she was holding a detonator,
Maybe, yeah.
You know what
That
I mean?
might have been a bit different. And the one thing I really love the fact for is that see where like Dredd gets put through a lot of shit and he gets captured Anderson and he gets shot at like a million times. I love the fact that he says to Mama, I'm not coming after you because I want to. It's like she basically just lists off her crimes.
Yeah.
Like she really to him is still really a criminal.
yeah,
And he's not going after her because
it's personal.
yeah, not because she's done all that
Yeah.
shit. It's because he's a cop and she's a
He
criminal.
lives by the law.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here for you for this. There's nothing.
Yeah,
you,
I thought
I
it
don't
was-
care. He's probably like, you could have fed this whole people. You could have healed them. You could have done something good. But I'm still going to take you in.
I
because
feel
you're a
like,
horrible
honestly,
person.
you could be the best person in the world, but say you go 1 mile over the speed limit,
Yeah.
he's hunting you down and just beating your face in until you like go to the ISO cubes.
You know, he's just. I've shot this image of Dredd just punching the guy in the side of the road. You were 1 mile over, and then, I just feel like it's definitely.
So I mean, the last thing we got to say about it is like,
Alright, before you, I don't know if this again, it could be the thing.
it could
you
be the
say.
same thing.
How did you feel? Because we saw people fly over, we see people hit the flare. How did you feel when it did the close up, slow mo, her face cracking as it hit the floor? Do you feel like that was needed?
A little bit, because it's more like I kind of wanted to see her get her comeuppances because she was, as much as she didn't really do much, she was still delegating these horrible things. So a little bit.
Yeah. So what was your thing?
Well, I mean, the other thing, but just before that, so see the guy that they meet right away, the guy who
Med bay.
works in the med bay,
Yeah.
right? I don't understand, like, he basically turns against them, but then wants to join, like, it's weird, he's like telling them all this information, then refuses to help them, then later on when the judges come in, actually wants to help, and then
Yeah.
obviously he dies. But
I never understood that. I understood them. The judges walk in, there's no threat. The judge first walks in with Anderson, boom. Right?
it's like he already knows who. Like he tells them. He
Yeah.
basically tells the judges this is who it is. And then when the judges go after them, he's like, I'm not helping you though.
Yeah, but he's been threatened. So if he helps, he's going to get killed. I understand him locking him out. I don't understand him seeing a couple of judges and going, I'm gonna go out today.
Maybe-
It makes
wow.
no sense.
Maybe he thinks to himself like there's more than two judges, so maybe they might stand a chance. Not
Nah.
realising that they're arsehole judges.
Seems like a type of
It's a bit like, obviously I'm jumping to conclusions. Right, so I mean the only thing we've got to talk about with it is like, so this movie flopped.
yes, it was a budget of 35 to 45 million. only made 41.5
which is it is honestly a travesty. I remember going to the cinema to see this because I have a story about this. So I go to the cinema with my dad a lot. Like, it's the one thing we've always done since I was like younger. I still remember the first movie I ever saw in the cinema, which was Lost in Space with Matt LeBlanc. So bad, but I love it because of it. It was my first, like one of my first ones.
So
I
you'll
remember.
pick it one of these days.
I will do at one point, but it's still ridiculous. So anyway, so it's one thing we've done for a long time, and we sort of do this thing where a couple of times, if he wants to see something that looks really good and I think it looks shit, but nobody's going to go with him, I'll go, because I've been dragged to some terrible stuff like 2012 and the Olympus movies.
As a serious obsession
with disaster movies.
Gerard Butler and disaster movies.
I've been dragged to so many shitty. He thank fuck he didn't take me to Geostorm.
Geostorm?
Please don't. So after I went to see something horrendously shit, I was like, you need to come and see Dredd with me. And he was like, I don't know about it. I'm not heard anything about it. I was like, just trust me. And when we both went to see it, we both absolutely loved it. And I just really wish that more people had went to see this. Yeah. Because to me, this was the pre R-rated boom, where you've got films like Deadpool, Logan, all the other R-rated stuff that's coming out. This like Kick-Ass. This is pre this. Like John Wick stuff. Like, if this movie came out now, I feel like it would be massive. Yeah. If it was like a little bit more 2019-y bit of graphics, but the same condensed storyline, I think it would make a shit ton, because word of mouth would get around and folk would go see it. And I think
that's how most stuff these days.
I think it honestly sucks that we're never ever going to get a sequel or a TV show.
As much as they talk about it, as much as they keep talking about it,
it's never going to happen.
Yeah,
I wish it would happen.
What do you feel about all the characters in this film? Like the actors portraying them, like
I think they were all good. Apart, like I say, Mama could have been like, her performance was all right, but for me, the two leads are the best. Yeah, like Cara Urban and the rookie. I can't remember. I forgot her name again.
Anderson.
They two are excellent. Yeah. But Cara Urban is the best in the entire movie. Yeah. Absolutely fantastic. Even though again, all you see is his chin. He absolutely is in everything. Yeah. In everything. So the only thing is, what are you going to give it out of 5? Because I've yet to give a 5 out of 5 yet, and I'm really struggling where I don't know if I want to see what you give it first.
I'm going to get a 5.
You're going to give it a 5 out of 5?
Because in all seriousness, besides look, Mama kind of been not really that bad in the end, like for the actions during the film. I think it was a good film. I feel like the story was good, the graphics were good, the magic abilities was good. Magic abilities, so fuck off, Carl.
Psychic abilities. That's enough. I mean, it's not like you said.
Even Dom Hall Gleeson's clan, he's literally been called Clan Techie. That's literally his name. He's not got a character, but he's the computer guy. Yeah. Even him, they were very good. I really do like it.
I think I'm going to have to do it. It's my first. It's a 5 out of 5 for me too. It's a 5 out of 5.
That make it a 10 then?
I was trying to save it for something, but there's a couple of movies in my mind that I was going to pick that were definitely going to be a 5 out of 5. But I think this is going to be.
I can't wait till we do those films and I go,
a first 5 out of 5.
Yeah, it's one of those films I can just watch anytime. Anytime I want to watch it, I can just watch it. It's very sci-fi. You know what I mean? If I'm feeling that kick for some future films, that's one of the ones I like to watch. So yeah, 5 out of 5 for me.
Okay, right. So the only other question now is what you done lately?
I think you want to give me it for last.
You want to give me it?
I think you should give it to me because.
Why? Because I know exactly what you're going to talk about.
Because you promised me. I wasn't allowed to talk about it until it finished.
You can't go for too long though.
I won't.
Right, fine. Fine.
Fraser, what have you done lately?
Well, I've apart from like the usual work as per usual, we both have got Monster Hunter World because it was on the Big in Japan sale on PlayStation, and I am absolutely loving it.
Definitely.
I think I kicking myself I never got it when it came out. I was like, it's too complicated, I'll never get it, and I was like, you know what, I'm never going to understand it, it's going to be too many things, and I wish I'd got it then.
I'm quite happy that our Monster Hunter Wikipedia man himself isn't gloating as much as I thought he would be.
Give it time. Give it time.
Yeah.
But I've absolutely been enjoying this. Like going after all the creatures. There's a lot of like grind, but it's good grind.
Yeah.
Because you are working towards like getting different armor, and there is a story to it as well. And I mean, I haven't really been paying attention to the story.
It's very Division type, where I'm like, I don't really need to know the story.
It's super Japanese. The story, super Japanese.
Yeah.
But like but everything else around it, it's not like the story's bad, because in the story missions you're going after the monsters, which is the whole point in the game. It's kind of like the cutscenes I haven't really been paying attention to.
Yeah.
Like you said before, Grandmaster Wiki on Monster Hunter, I've just been like, so what's going on now?
Yeah.
And then I just find out.
Yeah.
But like you say, they've going to get different armors, going to get different weapons, going to get all the charms, going after all the monsters, finding out what they're weak against, seeing what the new ones look like.
What I like about it is the fact that if say we're like, hey, we need to go out and get minerals, we go out, but somehow we either get chased by Diablos, Rathians, Kikawakawakis.
I mean, most of them, they're all got different weird names, and I mean, our friends are already getting annoyed at us for absolutely destroying them anyway.
The jobby ones.
But I mostly just come up with nicknames.
Yeah.
But like, one of the best things about it as well is, I know this wasn't in other Monster Hunter things, but the being able to play with your friends, go and hunt in groups, and like there's been 4 of us playing it, and like the 4 of us banding together, all having different weapon types, because there's loads of weapon types. You can make as many as you want, many armors you want.
Some people get annoyed with people with certain weapons. It's just these things that happen.
But like there's like creatures that you could fight yourself, but it would take forever. You'd end up getting beat. So you like get like all the 4 of us go on and like, right, we need to go after a big.
Yeah.
We need to go after the T-Rex looking thing. Let's go for it. And like all 4 of us attacking it, and the fights sometimes can last maybe 40, half an hour, but for me I never feel like it never feels like a slog, because I'm like all my friends.
Especially like the one we did last time, where it took literally about 48 minutes, and we were just we were like, this must be broken, that must be glitched, there's something going on here.
At one point I was like slowly getting annoyed because it would not die.
Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, these monsters are massive compared to your guy.
Yeah.
So it isn't just going to be a couple of hits and it's done. This is a chase. This is a find out where they are, chase them down, wait till they run away, chase after them, defend yourself, wait till they go to sleep. There's a lot of things involved, and I'm really enjoying it.
It looks so good.
It does.
The artwork for it is amazing. The graphics, everything is so good.
The only other question I was going to say before I ask you what you've done lately.
Is that literally all you've It's just that?
Most of it. I haven't really watched any TV shows. No, I've started watching The Mighty Bush again, because I'm waiting for Stranger Things, I'm waiting for Black Mirror. I will find something eventually. There's a boy at my work who recommended that Bodyguard show that's on Netflix. There's only like 6 episodes.
Yeah, it's the guy from Game of Thrones,
so
Richard Marston or something.
I've heard that that's really good. So I mean, it's only 6 episodes, so I might watch that. But would you go play one of the previous Monster Hunter worlds because you played this? Or because there's like the friend aspect and you play it on your own?
Yeah, that's a fucking catch.
Because obviously it's not for the PS4, but I mean, if you got a chance to play it.
Switch, isn't it? I think the original Monster Hunter was on the Switch. I feel like I would. I feel like if it was there, it was on deal, I gotta buy it and try it out because of this. Because this is such a good game. But at the same time, you got to think that's a really good game. Is the others going to hold up to that one?
Yeah, like this could be the best one.
Yeah, like say it was on 20 quid for like I don't know how many. There's like
if I had nothing to play, then sure.
Yeah, I'd get it.
There's a lot of longevity in this, so I'm loving playing this.
Because we're not even near the biggest bad yet.
No, we're not even close.
You know what I mean? So,
right, okay, fair enough. What have you done lately?
Obviously, Monster Hunter. My other game is Days Gone, which I think is fucking awesome. I've not completed the story yet, so I'm not at that point where I'm like, that fucking story was stupid. I like the story. The motorbike is definitely one of the best aspects. It's not a grind trying to get the stuff for it like people put out there.
I mean, as long as you enjoy it.
Yeah.
I mean, I have heard a lot of things that it is a bit of motorbike look like maintenance simulator.
Yeah, but petrol, couple of scrap, you're fine. And also watched Lucifer season 4, which is just really good, a good carry on for what was before. But my main thing for done lately, right? And I know you're gonna say it's because of the hype, right? But I finally finished Game of Thrones.
Just like 90% of the people, because I don't watch it, but I'm going to say 90% of the people in the world watch Game of Thrones.
And I hated this season, right? I didn't hate it because of hype. I didn't hate it because people didn't get what certain things they didn't get, right? I hated it because it felt rushed. It felt like they didn't take enough time to spread out certain bits of the story. Like I explained, like I feel like I was falling asleep without actually falling asleep. So it's like I'm falling asleep, woke up and I missed something. No, that's literally just how the show was made this season. Don't get me wrong, I kind of called it by saying where certain characters go.
I feel like we're not in spoiling territory, so just try your best.
Yeah, where certain characters go places and this and stuff like that, and like what happens in King's Landing and all that. I kind of called most of it, so that's something that Game of Thrones has always been unpredictable. But I kind of final season didn't wrong. They couldn't really go, oh my god, cliffhanger.
So you mean like it was too safe?
Yeah, for Game of Thrones, it shouldn't have been. You know what I mean?
Well, as I say, I don't watch it, but there's definitely one thing I've heard where they go in a complete different direction you never thought. So I mean, I can get that if you feel like it's been too safe.
That's the thing. Like, don't get me wrong, if there'd been like 3 episodes where we see her kind of build up to this, but there has been hints during the first 7 seasons, right? But they just needed more time. That's how I feel. I feel like they needed more time, and obviously I don't know if the directors or George R. R. Martin and all that.
The writers,
I don't know if they kind of went, this is what we want to do, this is it. I know George R. R. Martin has come out and said, I had plans for 9 seasons.
I'm
10
sorry,
seasons.
but I know you love the show, but when it's got to a point where the TV show is in front of the damn book, I ain't going to pay attention to anything.
I know why George R. R. Martin wanted 9 or 10 seasons.
So it could take longer to put off writing the book.
Yeah.
I can't listen to a word that's got, because I mean, at the end of the day, it's just write the damn books. Like, I'm not going to say it's not hard to write books, but when it's literally got to the point where this show's been going on for fucking ages and you still haven't wrote the books for it, that's like that was like bloody making Lord of the Rings before J.R. Tolkien finished it.
I also feel like he had no idea how he wanted to end it, so he let Davey Wise and Anderson, or whatever their name is, finish it. Then he can go, I'm not going to do that one.
You're going to read the books when they come out?
Yes, I'm going to get the audio books. Because I know the first one's 33 hours and I'm going to get it in a couple of weeks.
Well,
So
I mean, I've heard a lot of things where people didn't like it. People did like it.
Yeah, I know.
It was...
There's no point in petition. There was no point in saying anything about the actors.
That never changed.
That's just how it is. That's how it ended. It sucks. Left bad taste.
At the end of the day, I mean...
That's all that matters.
It's not going to be the first show where the season finale disappointed people.
Lost.
I mean, How I Met Your Mother. Remember that
oh
was
my god, that was
so
awful.
Bad. Yeah.
Awful.
Scrubs ended great, then they brought it back and ruined it.
Yep.
Like it's happened loads of times where a season finale has annoyed people that much. So I mean, at least you've got 7 seasons that are good.
Yeah. And
then one that you're like, well, I mean, it's
I'll see how it ended.
So I mean.
But yeah, definitely. But
7 out of 8 is good.
Yeah. For some people who haven't seen it, the whole thing in general, I say go back and watch it. It's one of the greatest TV shows ever.
I might.
It is
probably not.
Here's the thing: it is 90. Even though this season was bad, it's still 95% better than everything else that's out there.
That's a big shit.
That's how I see. That's it. Because I watch all the fucking DC shit. I watch like loads of TV shows. So I say this is better than most. So that says something.
That's fair.
But also, I've got to ask, what's your pick?
Right. Well, I've been racking my brain about this because I thought about a lot of stuff.
I thought I could smell smoke in here.
A lot of racking back and forth about what I wanted to go for, and I have decided to go for Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Oh, you motherfucker. Okay.
So...
Any reason why that one?
Well, it's weird. So, at first I was going to go for a Keanu Reeves movie, and I couldn't quite decide which movie. It was either going to be Point Break, Speed, or The Matrix.
Yeah, okay.
I feel like I'm going to save a Keanu Reeves, maybe for later down the line. And I was watching YouTube, and Harrison Ford was on Jimmy Fallon, and he was talking about how Indiana Jones was never expected to be as big as it is. And I was like, you know what? I've not seen Indiana Jones in ages. What's my favourite one? and it's The Last Crusade. Hey, I could have picked The Crystal Skull.
Oh.
Yeah. Last Crusade is my favourite Indiana Jones.
What was that?
That is the one with Sean Connery, and they go after the Holy Grail.
Oh, right, okay. I got
So, Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade is my choice.
God.
How could you not like Indiana Jones?
No, it's just it's a hit and a miss a wee bit. It's one of those things. I'll watch it.
You got it. That's the.
That's true. Remember, my choice is next. So,
yeah. If you think about this, you're the only one that's picked a shit movie. So.
Well. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you won't take a risk.
I will take a risk eventually, but I'm trying to build up.
Anniversary doesn't count. Someone already helped you pick it. Just saying.
Anyway, right. So I mean, but just tell people where to find us.
Find us on the usual YouTube. Pointless Point of View. Twitter @ Pointless Point of View. Instagram is the usual Pointless Point of View. And it's I don't know. I still don't know if we're doing a Facebook page.
No, I don't think we will. I think we've got enough.
Yeah,
Instagram's doing quite well. Posting stuff. I really should post some stuff, but I just usually.
If anyone's ever seen Fraser try to take a picture, that is not.
I don't really do social media.
And his soul's not damaged enough to go on Twitter, so that's fine. But as always, I've been Callum.
I've been Fraser.